Whew. Pardon me. Alright. I'm not going to do this for too long. Pretty shattered. I stayed up a bit too late last night. Yeah. So, what am I going to do tonight? We started with priming grenades, but we have a few little issues at the moment. If you sit on a grenade and not actually throw it out there, it doesn't actually work so well. So we need to figure out a way to make it work a bit better. It doesn't actually explode and stuff like that. So we can't have that. And part of that is because the detonate grenade method isn't actually filled out correctly. What I'm going to experiment with is looking at the way scanning protocol works. Because scanning protocol, excuse me one moment, scanning protocol, the way that works is it shows a radius where you, when you put things together, and because it shows a radius, like even though it's a self-target ability, ability charges. Yeah, even though it's a self-target ability, target style, but it has a targeting method top-down. So I'm gonna experiment with using a targeting method of grenade, even though the target style becomes self-target, because what that might end up meaning is that we still get the grenade sort of radius, and that targeting method sort of plays to our advantage in terms of setting everything up for us. Alright, so I've seen what I want to see. Now let's go to prime grenade. So at the moment we've got default self-target, and we have, what are we looking for? We have a targeting ability. Target. No, we don't have any targeting method. I don't think we have a targeting method. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to try and do is just chuck this in, see what happens basically. While we're at it, I'm also want to get my fly down working, so gotta find ones that actually have this flyover text, because I could do it in a build visualization stuff, but I'd rather not if I don't need to. That's right. So let's look at some of the ranger ability sets, because I'm pretty sure at least one of these is going to use it. Actually, I'll look at what's it called? X2 ability. Build visualization. Lock friendly name. This activation flyover post build visualization. Wonder if this is something I care about. So yeah, I'm looking for just something that will give me my flyover effect. Play sound and flyover. So all of this visualization stuff is there's a primary target. Okay, so maybe this works. This is hit speech, not hit speech. It's not good. Maybe I'll look for things that use the post visualization. Because yeah, I just want a little primed grenade thing to show up when you activate the ability rather than it just skipping straight on to do its own thing. 2G. Show post activation. Show the text flyer at the end of the visualization after the camera pans back. Oh, okay. Well, maybe that will do my thing. So P, show post activation. Might have a little bit more of a look at things. Thought I would have got a little thing showing up. Lock friendly name. XCOM game int. We've got that. We've got the lock friendly game for prime grenade. Alright, I'll just put show post activation and show activation and see if we get something nice out of it, something usable. Yeah, and our our targeting method of grenade, and again we'll see if that works for us. And then ticking grenade. Well, the key thing here is we're gonna actually, at the moment we're trying to fill things out from a detonation location which we get from the source unit, but instead what we're gonna do is say, hey, this initial state gave us everything we need to know, so just use that. Alright, we'll see how that goes for us. Okie dokie. Let us run her up. I'm just gonna go grab a quick drink of water. So yeah, what we're looking to test here is whether our primed grenade, if we sit on it, will it explode in our hands? That's the key thing we want to test. So if you end a turn with someone who's got a primed grenade, which they primed last turn, it should explode in their hand at the end of the turn. Like, I'm pretty sure I used that based on proximity mine, how proximity mine did it. Is that incorrect? So they should be not creating new names every time they use AA success. Also, hello. Or essentially they're meant to be like single reference things, sort of like atoms in Erlang, or symbols in JavaScript, or insert singleton string representation here. Alrighty. Alright, we'll run away. And then we'll deal with things. I just want to do it on ground floor just to test it a bit. Well, test it like in sort of a stable, not having to worry about things exploding sort of idea. Alright, got seen by the civvies, because of course I did. Alright, so prime grenade. Oh, that's unfortunate. I thought I'd have an area of effect. Why don't I? Alright, I'm going to bring in radius stuff for priming. Because I want it to be, even though it's a self-target, I want it to use the information that establishes it as something that has proximity. So when you activate the grenade, you can see the area of effect and use that information to dictate how you're going to do things. What else am I thinking about with regards to throwing grenades? So the ability target style is self. So yeah, we're not using the targeting method of grenade. What other targeting methods could we use? What does top down mean? I'll try top down and we'll see if that gets sort of at least roughly the behavior I want. Fuse might work too. Let's try fuse. Yeah, we'll try the X2 targeting method fuse, because that is sort of like it's showing that grenade radius. That's the information I want. And it's always going to be the singular. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, allow user to select a target. But how does that integrate with ability target style? So build. Okay, righto. Right, so we need to build the right targets. So we really need something sort of like fuse, I guess. Psi ability. Targeting method fuse. Target style, simple single target. Yeah, okay. Alright, at the end of the day, what are we actually boiling this down to? We want self-target, but then while we're doing self-target, we want targeting method grenade, roughly, but only ever pointed at the place I'm on. There's a bunch of stuff extra in here because of tutorials and stuff like that we want to avoid. Now, what's the default targeting method? Like, if you don't set one, what does it do? Top down. Okay, so that's the one that we've been running anyway. Okay, not good enough by the looks of it. Thank you, I've seen your comment now. Alright, lock the cursor to that range. Small unit tactics, source, small unit tactics, classes, small unit tactics, X2 targeting method, prime. Alright, so say we extend grenade, and then we go, not should wait for framing camera, we're on the wrong one. Get cursor feed location. Alright, so after init, I can pick up my cursor, which is protected but not private, so we should be safe. Right, so you'd think something real core to the game like that would be sort of sorted. But anyway, alright, super init in action. Alright, after all that malarkey happens, I should have access to cursor. set mf max change distance equals 0. Should be locked. Alright, really looking at the rough stuff here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just because it can't build all of those things, like, you know, MVC is one of those things, like, yeah, eventually you've got to, there's a point where you've got to hit pragmatism, and then do it in a way that will keep your code from looking too bad. But I guess maybe it's just where they arrived is just doesn't appear to be what we wanted it to be. Alright, anyway, what did I do wrong? That's not right. Pardon me. I must have accidentally saved or something while I was working with one of the XCOM files. That's why it chucked a sad while I was building. That depends on how they approach the problem. Surely they've been porting up to, you know, latest. I think it's interesting building, you know, big systems and stuff like that, and like, especially when they're based on game design. Like, do you just keep on, you know, keep on trucking? Do you try and second system it, and hope that your second system will in fact be better, or do you know, just go for the minimal improvements while trying to figure out how you would, you know, rip out the more problematic elements? I think it's interesting in the field of game design, because obviously, like, you've got to have enough flexibility to be able to do all the things that you want to do, and then build all these different abilities and that kind of thing, while maintaining some semblance of code quality. I guess like, strategy games are sort of in an interesting place because they don't have to be ridiculously efficient, although this one certainly could benefit with being a bit more efficient. Yeah, I wonder how this is going to go. I'm not going to spend too late tonight. Yeah, not full of beans tonight. Oh, that's the right. Ah, right. Yeah, the path is still there. Okay. Okay. So I've got the ability to throw the frag grenade, but I don't want to do that, and I want to see if it explodes. Ah, damn it. Okay, so that little experiment didn't do what I wanted it to do. Don't know if I give up on trying to go down that one, or I kill that. I've got a radius multi-target. I might have a look at the ability target styles, because like I know you've put a bunch of stuff there, but I mean they have their go away. They have their own sort of what's it called? Yeah, it's one thing for it to be explained to me in chat, and it's another thing for me to actually look at the code and try and understand it myself. That's what I was trying to say. Alright, so the default ability template, targeting method, X2 target top down. Alright, but we've got a bunch of in X2 ability, like self-target. X2 ability target self. Symbol single target. Cursor. Alright, let's have a look at grenades. So this one has an ability target style of cursor target. It's ability target cursor. Right, okay, so cursor range meters is free aiming, but this doesn't determine an awful lot. So self-target or target self would not do an awful lot either. Primary target options, they just made it native. Okay. So where's the confirm is I guess a question here. So if we look at X2 targeting method, is there any word of confirm? Oh, confirm ability callback, allow mouse confirm. So that's if, so a mouse confirm would be based on free aim, right? Friendly fire warning callback, E action, EU action. Allow mouse confirmed doesn't even get used in this case, so that'll be used by children, I guess. Where does B free aim get set? Oh dear, okay. So that's on available action. If this is true, targets will change on cursor position. Okay, so that's... Yeah, you're right. Everything sort of just gets a bit... The MVC sort of thing goes... Just chuck it out the window when all this stuff starts happening. Alright, next to targeting method. Target. Where is get target locations used? Available action info. Get additional targets, additional target, okay. Alright, so a bunch of stuff happens here and where it's collecting from the targeting method, the target locations, and that stuff actually ends up going to the game state. Right. So I guess the critical question is when we're doing get splash radius center, how is that kicking up? Because really all I want to do is I just want to always get splash radius center from not the cursor, but the soldier. Does X2 targeting method have access to the soldier? Firing unit. Okay, cool. So if we've got that, then we should be able to override... Yeah, so it's not a free aiming, it's a self-target, but we do get a fill based on the targeting method potentially. Yeah? Yeah, maybe? Because at the moment we've got this whole cursor thing. Draw, get splash radius center, and then draw splash radius. But both of these, we need to get the sort of the center. Yep, so let's just change both of these over. Not even going to show the cursor. What we're instead going to aim for is the center will come from the unit that we know we have, world, xworld dot get floor position for tile, get position from tile coordinates. And that guy is unit state dot tile location. Technically I don't need that, I don't think, but let's just do it. So it's default self-target, we've got a radius multi-target. Let's just see what happens out of that. What we'll also check is that our detonate grenade on a primed grenade actually behaves as it should. Alright, that'll do. Well, I won't do, potentially, but we'll see how it goes. God damn, 45 minutes already. Chasing this stuff is time consuming. Alright, this will be my last check. If it doesn't pay off, I mean, I'm gradually learning about this stuff. It's not time wasted, it's just more time exploring. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, everyone step away. Well, I mean that's sort of it, and that's what I wanted it to look like. Like a primed grenade should look like that, without the friendly fire warning, because it's assuming you understand the risk of priming. So that visualization is fine. Oh, and I've got myself a prime grenade activation event, which is great too. All right, so now I've got this will explode soon event. But I didn't actually get an explosion. Why? Yeah. It carries on and no damage was done. The visualization looks good. It looks good. But I think at this point what we need to do is maybe verify that our targets are correct. And I reckon maybe it has something to do with the fact that target locations... Maybe the simple self-target, like the target is one thing, but the location is another. Like the cursor position is one thing, but the cursor position... Yeah. I'm going to have to carry on with this one. But, like... I have a feeling on this end I need to give something different to action. Maybe just iterate over target locations and see what's going on there, and what the heck is target. Because yeah, it's acting like it's aimed. That's right. It's acting like it's aimed because it's got a hit, like it's done a whole hit roll for that single target. When what actually is going on is we want it to aim at. Let me look at the data structure. That's what I really need. The available action data structure holds the secret to life here. The multi-target style. Yeah, ability multi-target style. But the thing is I've got default self-target, so maybe that's messing things up. Like I want it to default to self. But then I want to make sure that the right information is like the guarantee is with the delayed grenade, the targeting information is exactly correct because like the targeting method is all the right thing and stuff like that. So it's all quite straightforward. Whereas in this case, the targeting is a little bit off. So an available target is a primary target and additional targets. So just a collection. Which is just a bunch of state object references. So potentially with some logging, I can look at the difference between the two. Target. Available targets. We've got, let me just side by side the two different effects. So ticking grenade. Essentially the same deal. We've got ability code, effect, apply effect parameters, ability input context, target locations. Alright. So this is partially it, I guess. So where does that come from? Target locations. So apply effect parameters. Now let me close this. Right. Effect state, a state effect. So ability input context holds an array of representing the locations of the target. In some cases also holds the location of the primary target. So what we really need to look at is we need to look at a comparison of what ability input context target locations looks like in one case and what ability input target locations look like in another case. Now available target so an available target available target is the primary target and the additional targets. So additional targets are their gravity and they're pulled in. So, and that's the whole point of this whole gather additional ability targets for location. So that grabs the vector, then gathers them in. For a blank target, which is what this is. But then it uses that vector. So really I just want to look at target locations to see what comes out of it. Stuff it. May as well check it out now. Alright. local vector. Alright, for each vect dot, I don't think it's going to like me doing this, so I have to do a array of vectors. Alright, hopefully this should let us know what's what. Tell the difference between a primed grenade and a ticking grenade and what we get out of the data structures. Alright, let's go. And we're done for tonight anyway. Alright, this is the last time. Alright, let's see how we go. Alright, let's back off. So there's our test grenade. Here's our primed grenade. Alright, so that was one detonation location, which is a vector. and then it built basically the whole target off of that. Oh. It's annoying. Why else might it not this work? Because it's not on my turn. I've ended my turn. Maybe that's why. Surely not. We've already got stuff like Overwatch shot and all that sort of stuff, so that shouldn't be part of the rules. And we've got data that looks like it looks sane, like it looks like it's got the right bits and pieces in it. But it is this singular hit business. Maybe it's this singular hit business that's messing it up. Because, well, let's see if the internal roll for hit. So yeah, when we do detonation location, it's got no target ID. Maybe that's what's the problem, is I've got a target when I shouldn't have a target. No, it should explode. Target ID is 0. That looks right. And then it checks because these are the multi-targets here. All this business. So why isn't the damage getting applied? What makes these two so different? Apply effect parameters, ability input context, target locations. I don't get it. I'm just going to do a commit for now. We did improve the targeting method.